And welcome back, all you beautiful ladies and gentlemen, Gungans, Droids, and of course, the Catamoonie Coneheads with those massive foreheads to today's video, where yours truly has a little bit of a pick-me-up for you. I know we're in that Conquest grind. Are you having fun with Conquest right now? Well, in case you're not, we're gonna be unlocking Dark Side Rey in less than 2 weeks. We're in the final stretch. And guess what, people? If you need a little bit of optimism to get across that finish line in Conquest, we have early access gameplay of Dark Side Rey with all of her Omicrons and showing you how she's gonna be taking Supreme Leader Kylo Ren to the next level, baby! And Gary, no, I know we're talking about Rey. No, not that Rey, Gary, no! What are you guys doing? You don't want to be late for the latest party in our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, where Alice in Wonderland has made it to the game. To celebrate the occasion, they are literally just giving out for free a legendary champion, Alice the Wanderer. All you have to do is log into Raid Shadow Legends for 7 days between January 8th through March 26th. All of this completely free. But wait, that's not all. We also have the Mad Hatter coming to Raid Shadow Legends, a limited time fusion event to get yourselves the legendary Mad Hatter. And we also have the addition of Cheshire the Cat, the Knave of Hearts, and the fearsome Queen of Hearts. And if you're feeling brave enough, you can go toe-to-toe with her in the limited time events dungeon. I got you covered. If you're new to Raid, now is the best time to play. If you use my QR code or my link down below, you'll be getting for free Tyrell, a bunch of goodies, and then later on you'll be getting Rector Draft. So you don't want to be late, my friends. Come join me over here at Raid Shadow Legends. Check out my second channel where I've been playing a ton of Raid for the past 6 months and see all the fun that we're having in this wonderland of Raid Shadow Legends. Do you feel better now, Gary? Yes, be sure to check me out on my second channel where we've been playing a ton of Raid Shadow Legends. Thank you, Gary. Anyways, let's talk about this Rey and how she's gonna be raiding Galaxy of Heroes. Let's roll the gameplay, Gary, my gosh. So first, big thanks to our SWGOH Events Discord server, the unofficial, official Star Wars Galaxy Heroes forum, in my opinion, where our data miners, Barbarossa, he was able to, as usual around this time, able to get early access gameplay through his special build. Let's just leave it at that. And, well, the thing that's beautiful about this, it gives us as a community a bit of a heads up what we're in for when we finally unlock her ourselves in the near future. I think the biggest thing that we're seeing, and of course, this is all early access. It's not even technically in the live build for us to play, so things could change, but this is as close as we're gonna get before we finally unlock ourselves. We are seeing Supreme Leader Kylo Ren in several capacities, being able to more or less two-man a lot of the top galactic legends out there. Almost turn this into like a Darth Bane situation. Darth Bane with an apprentice, boom. He's taking on lots of things. Underdogging, for example, Leia. Underdogging, for example, some Rey liners, even with the Fulcrum, Ahsoka, Datacron. And keep in mind, there is Datacrons locked in all this. So if you're watching this like a year from now, most likely all these Datacrons are going to be completely gone. But again, this is all just to kind of give us some perspective as to what we're going to be in for with this character. I am seeing Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, based off this initial gameplay, be an even more powerful unit on the offensive side of things. We have some defensive gameplay we're going to show towards the latter part of this video here, but at the very minimum, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren looks like he's going to get a massive supercharge to do more of what he can do already, which is be an offensive powerhouse tool, but maybe not so much in those, weird lineups, where, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's kind of funny seeing Armor, Wat Tempor, Geonosian Brood, Alpha, Thrawn be with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. We've been seeing CG kind of move more towards this philosophy of like keeping the identity of the team more or less thematic, I suppose. And we're seeing this on a pretty large scale for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I want to remind you guys, we do have those Omicrons on. They are adding a huge bonus. Now, everyone's been asking me nonstop, what Omicron should I apply? I'm going to wait till I finally test her out myself in the next couple weeks here, and then I'll give you some more solidified Omicron suggestions once I've had time to see what she's good at. She might be great without the Omicrons, sort of like how, for example, remember like Queen Amidala Luthen, you're able to do a lot of good stuff without their Omicron, so don't want to fully commit to it, but let me remind you, these unique abilities that she has on her are absolutely nuts. For example, don't be afraid of who you are. We already know the basics of it. We've read the kit reveal numerous times already. She gets the 20% critical chance, the critical damage. Her abilities can't be evaded. Then while she has Retaliate, she recovers protection. We're seeing that's also another big theme. Protection recovery. We're seeing Supreme Leader Kylo Ren in a lot of these battles. Master Kenobi seems to be a bit more of an uphill battle still, but we're able to see lots of protection. While she has Retaliate, she recovers protection at the end of her turn equal to 100% of the damage she received, and then while she's debuffed, she's gonna have tons of extra speed on her. But anyways, basically what I want to do is kind of get ourselves fast forward to these Omicrons. For example, on that unique ability, don't be afraid of who you are. While in Grand Arenas, all the first order allies with Retaliate recover protection at the end of their turn equal to the 100% of damage they received. First order allies with advantage ignore taunt effects on their turn, and we are seeing that already with this. Being able to ignore the taunt is going to be a big deal. For example, going up against Master Luke, we got some gameplay of that later on here. Being able to not to have to deal with Master Luke, and you can just go, for example, stun someone around them, or just go straight for Jedi Knight Revan, or just go take out Jedi Knight Luke. It's really going to be a big deal because that's one of the biggest weaknesses that Kylo has is taunt. Of course, he has mechanisms to try to work around it. You know, you get the buff immunity, you try to buff the spell, but now with this sneak ability, it's going to be a huge deal. And keep in mind as well, if the allied unit is superior to Kylo Ren, I should say the allied leader slot is superior to Kylo Ren, whatever he enters aggressive stance, the cooldown of Malevolent Lineage is reset. And Malevolent Lineage, we talked about buff immunity and whatnot. Let's just say, oh man, let's just say shock is a little bit better. Let's just put it that way. But also I want to talk about the Inner Nature, the other unique ability here. This allows her to get a ton of extra max health, of course, before the Omicron even starts kicking into effect. And then whenever an enemy is defeated, all characters lose 100% of their Terminator. First order allies gain advantage. Terminator removal is kind of a good thing for the first order. You know, as you remove Terminator, you know, remember like General Grievous, for example, versus Premier Common, you're just ramping up his stats basically. But the Omicron that we have here, while in Grand Arenas, while Rey is untargetable from this ability, because remember, she's kind of got like a little bit of a cheese situation going on. While Rey is untargetable through her unique ability, first order allies can't be defeated. And now remember, we're going to be going to day one testing. We're not going to be able to see that ourselves right away. So don't get too, you know, beat up if you're stopping this, because what does this mean? You can basically stop insta kills at the very start of the battle. No one can die. She just can't. And then while an enemy is less than full health, they can't recover protection. Whenever a first order ally is inflicted with the debuff, they lose 1% to it. Again, Terminator removal is good, and they're going to be able to get a little bit of offense. But if you remember, at the start of the encounter, if the allies in the leader slot is any version of Kylo Ren, so this might work, for example, with Kylo Ren and Mask. If you don't have superior to Kylo Ren, raise it untargetable until the enemies, all enemies have taken a turn or are defeated. Then whenever an enemy is defeated, all characters lose their turn meter. Ooh, so these unique abilities are going to be a big thing for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Whether you're going to use it in a full team, or you're going to try to do some like underdog type of cheese, for example, up against a variety of these other galactic legends. And of course, the other Omicron that we have that you're able to see here is that Malevolent Lineage. Whew. Now that we saw like our first look going into Conquest, you know, you get the little consumable. This is next level. This is next level with her Omicron on Malevolent Lineage. She deals true damage to all enemies, split among them. So hopefully some big damage is being poured out there. And if all allies are first order and there's any version of Kylo Ren to allied side, so not Supreme or Kylo Ren. So again, in the situation you don't have Supreme or Kylo Ren, this could be a great unit for your first order lineup. Maybe as you build up the Supreme or Kylo Ren, that'd be pretty wild. If you're unlocking it so you don't have Supreme or Kylo Ren, I think you might be able to get some usage out of this. You're gonna be able to shock all enemies for one turn, and shock is crazy helpful. Just for example, up against Master Kenobi, being able to get that shock on Jedi, you know, General Kenobi, and just easily buff the spell. You know, I mean, not like it really matters because with the Omicron they could ignore taunt, but things like that makes things so much easier to just manage buffs on the other side of the team. But I digress. You're gonna shock all enemies for one turn. Kylo's gonna be called to assist. Then all other non-taunting first order allies not in the leader slot gain stealth, protecting your Hux, your Citripper, the high value targets that people generally try to get out as fast as possible. Nuh-uh, not with this. And also Kylo's gonna get 100% defense, but I wanna remind you, that's before the Omicron. With the Omicron here, the shock can't be dispelled or resisted. Yeah, the most powerful shock we have in the game, basically. The enemies defeated by this ability, they can't be revived, even though we already have some anti-revives with Supreme Kylo Ren gets the kill. Rey's got that as well. Being able to pull back 100% Terminator from all characters, so a massive version of control the situation, more or less. And again, Terminator removal, it sounds weird, a little bit oxymoronic, and trust me, I know a little bit about moronic out there. You know, so side story, my father would always use oxymoron in the wrong way. When I would do something stupid, and rightfully so, he's like, "Are you an oxymoron?" I never wanted to correct it because it was too funny. But anyways, he could read the tea leaves. What can I say? But anyways, removing Terminator on a first order is a good thing for the most part. Enemies with bonus protection or protection up, like Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, or shield up like the Gungans, reduce their max health and max protection by 20%. Excluding the Galactic Legends raid bosses for the rest of the encounter. And if there's any version of Kylo Ren to allied leader slot, all first order allies recover 50% health and protection and gain speed up for 2 turns. Again, the protection recovery is a big thing. We're seeing 2-man situations being a possibility for Kylo, taking on Jabba, for example, Leia's, maybe Rey's, Lord Vader's. I mean, Kylo could already handle Lord Vader, you know, with like Watts him boring himself, but now he can do it even easier. And getting banners back, that's always been one of the biggest downsides using Kylo on offense. Yeah, you can, I mean, Kylo can beat, assuming you mess around with the lineup, you can beat basically any Galactic Legend with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Yes, some are more difficult than others, like Jedi Master Kenobi. Yeah, you can cheese it with Night Sisters. Complicated battle, but I digress. Even when you do eke out the win, most of your team's dead, or you're missing out on tons of protection and health. With Rey, this is going to be the most obvious boost to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's power. And that right there is kind of a nice proposition for me, if you ask for my opinion. Now, we can go over quickly the other specials and the basics. You know, the Corrupted Reflection, her other special ability. She gets to deal physical damage to all enemies. The damage is looking pretty decent on Rey from what I'm seeing here. And then she gets attacked again if there are any defeated enemies. First order allies gain retaliate and retribution. And if Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's in the leader slot, he gains 10% ultimate charge. So trying to expedite him getting into his ultimate. I would never say Kylo had a slow ultimate. It was definitely, I feel like it was pretty balanced. It was easy to get there. I never like yelled like, "Oh man, I can't get to my ultimate." It's not like, you know, Sith Eternal where without Bane, it takes forever to hit that ultimate. Doesn't seem to be that way here, but being able to give him even more ultimate charge, especially in the situations where you can't critically hit, it's gonna help you get there as fast as possible. And then furthermore, we have the basic ability Surrender to Darkness, where you're going to deal physical damage to the target enemy twice, ignoring 50% protection. And if the enemy had full health or protection up at the start of the attack, you're going to attack again. She is going to be getting tons of hits out there. And again, I know, yeah, from herself, yeah, being able to hit a ton is nice just to get damage out there, try to knock people out. But every time she's hitting, what is that doing? It's trying to feed more ultimate charge to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. You see where I'm getting at? And then on her turn, if she deals at least 3 instances of damage, target enemy is feared as well for 1 turn, which can't be resisted. So, I mean, we're seeing a big noticeable improvement. Just again, from this early access gameplay from Barbarossa on the SWH Events Discord server, we're seeing that some common things that would be used against Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. And again, we need to wait till it gets in everyone's hands. I want to get it into my hand. Maybe I can beat this still with Jedi Master Luke, but Jedi Master Luke was kind of a bread and butter counter, for example, up against Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. This seems to be a little bit more difficult. They're having a hard time. You can't kill anyone off here. Look, they kept trying. They can't get it done yet. It buys Kylo time to ramp up his ultimate. You can't kill anyone. He gets his ultimate charged up, and he just tears the other team apart. It's really those unique abilities on Side Rey that makes this so much better. But here's the thing. It doesn't seem like it's going to be completely, what's the right word? Invincible. Daddy Bane. I mean, come on, people. If there's a problem, Darth Bane solves it. Check out the hook while his Sith minion revolves it. Sith, baby. Okay, anyways. Looks like we still are going to have opportunities to use other common counters that can go up against it. Master Kenobi seems to still be, I mean, yes, we have gameplay of a full first order team that I showed earlier taking down Jedi Master Kenobi, but it seems like Master Kenobi can still handle this team pretty well. So again, I know something, listen, I know Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's the most popular Galactic Legend out there, and I think in our hearts, as a result, people want him to be invincible. I think they did kind of an interesting job just from this overview that we're seeing, initial overview, mind you, that they bolstered his offense performance tremendously, I think. Increased the defensive performance, making some of his counters a little bit less accessible. Like, for example, there's some gameplay I didn't put in here. Like, Reva was kind of a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren counter. Looks like she gets absolutely massacred by this because, again, you can't kill anyone with that Rey unique ability. Caused a big problem. It seems like right now Master Kenobi has it in the bag, but again, there are some other things I would like to see. Like, you know, Leia normally was a good counter to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Will that still be the case moving forward here? Time's gonna tell. But for me personally, people, we have a few more weeks, just a week and a half, until we get her into our palms. We're going to be heading into a 5v5. We should be in a 5v5 season about that time. The Prime Center game mode of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. And we're going to really be able to see for ourselves what she is all about. But at the very minimum, I hope this gameplay gave you a little bit of optimism, because I'm incredibly excited to see the unlock rates. I have been seeing a lot more people than usual say, I got Red Crate. I got Red Crate. As you guys know, even my free-to-play account, this is going to be the first Red Crate character that I'm going to be unlocking here, and I'm kind of debating. Should I put the Kyrotech in her? I put it towards the final GLA requirements. We're going to be able to answer that question very shortly, but until then, people, leave that like. Go check out my Raid Shadow Legends channel. Big thanks again for Raid for sponsoring that whole entire series. Looking forward to seeing you guys over on that other channel that we have. And more importantly, be sure to subscribe here so you're not missing a thing. And the most important thing is always remember how it's great to be in the Empire today. Oh, it's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.